Hello, Bill. Are you there? If you're there, pick up. It's your mother. Are you eating properly? Bill? Anyway, call me.
Essential skills. I really need to know. Essential skills. Tell me what they are. I really need to know. I really want to know.
Essential skills form the foundation that enable us to perform everyday tasks at work, at home, and in our communities. For example, using a propane barbecue. Individuals have to read and interpret documents and instructions for hooking up the cylinder and igniting the barbecue.
Do you really think it's an essential skill that caused this death?
Essential skills underpin everything that we do. They're the enabling skills that form a foundation for us to learn new skills and understand information and adapt to changes.
I think I've heard something about essential skills as the underpinning of tasks. In fact, I've heard there's some research showing a direct correlation between essential skills and safety in the trucking industry.
If I recall correctly, drivers with low essential skill levels were significantly more likely to get into an accident than those drivers whose levels were adequate.
I'm not really sure I know what essential skills are.
Well, as I understand it, there are 9 essential skills that apply to all occupations. But I think in this incident, reading, document use, and numeracy are going to play a significant role. We need to look into this further.
Hi guys, we've examined the scene of the accident and a leaky propane cylinder triggered the explosion. I think the Vic was barbecuing at the time and needed a replacement tank. Now we've confirmed with the neighbor that he was alone at the time. So through process of elimination, we know it wasn't these essential skills. Oral communication or working with others because there was nobody else around. And writing wouldn't be an issue because there was no need to record any information. The guy just wasn't using his thinking skills.
Why do you say that?
Well, I found cigarettes and traces of ash from the barbecue to the shed. Now the Vic was smoking, so when he reached inside the shed to grab the cylinder, he triggered the explosion.
In essential skills terms, the Vic didn't consider the consequences of his actions when making a cognitive decision.
Hold on a second. Propane cylinders don't leak that easily. We'll take the evidence back to the lab for further examination.
We've been examining the evidence you collected at the scene and have zeroed in on the propane cylinder.
Here's that file.
Thanks. Kyle's got some interesting theories.
Grissom tells me you've arrived at a theory.
Well, we can easily eliminate computer use since the Vic didn't have any computerized equipment at the site. That leaves us with reading text, document use, or numeracy, 3 essential skills Grissom first identified. Document use requires individuals to find information displayed in a variety of formats. This advisory label, commonly found on these propane cylinders, provides a clear warning not to store cylinders in confined spaces. The temperature on the day of the incident was 35 degrees, and the Vic had obviously stored the cylinder in a small shed that was poorly ventilated. And when he decided to open the door of the shed and turn on the light, boom, that caused the explosion.
Yes, and we found the light switch was shorting out due to the frayed wires, which caused the explosion to be much larger than a normal ignition.
What about reading text?
That's another factor. Look here at this Fuel Safety Program Advisory. It's a document providing technical standards and safety information distributed with the sale of each propane cylinder, requiring readers to identify relevant information and make low-level inferences. In other words, the user needed to interpret appropriate storage processes and make the necessary adjustments to the shed.
Just a minute.
Good afternoon, Propane Training Institute. Gloria speaking.
Yeah, hi. Can I speak to Kevin, please?
Yes, just hold, please.
Hi, Kevin. Grissom calling. Hey, we're working on this propane barbecue explosion case, and we've narrowed it down to the cause down to 3 essential skills: document use, reading text, and numeracy.
Yes, I know those essential skills well, and you definitely need them when you're working around barbecue cylinders and filling barbecue cylinders.
What I need from you is an explanation on how a propane cylinder would leak if it was overfilled.
I assume the cylinder itself was intact after the explosion?
Yeah, the cylinder's still in good shape, considering.
Have you examined
The safety relief valve for any mechanical failures?
Yeah, we've tested it, and it's still functioning correctly.
Okay, what size of cylinder are we dealing with?
What size? I'm not sure, but it's definitely smaller than the one you would normally associate with a propane barbecue.
Sounds like a 5 or a 10-pound cylinder, which has a higher likelihood of overfilling if you miscalculate the quantity of fuel that can safely be put into that cylinder. However, any person who's received proper training and is certified to fill propane cylinders shouldn't be making this type of mistake. All of the information needed to fill the cylinder is clearly and correctly stamped on the cylinder itself.
We even post warning notices at the refill centers that state only authorized personnel are permitted to operate propane filling equipment.
Overfilling a cylinder when storing in a confined space could also be disastrous.
If the cylinder was overfilled, any moderate temperature increase, say a cool morning to late afternoon, that cylinder relief valve could open, releasing liquid propane into the air.
Why are smaller cylinders more likely to be overfilled?
Well, first, there's less room for error. Second, anyone who is unfamiliar with how to calculate the correct formula could easily overfill that cylinder. Say if the cylinder is overfilled to 100% liquid, then there's no room for expansion in case of a temperature increase. If that happens, liquid propane will be forced out that safety relief valve. Liquid propane, of course, will very quickly expand 270 times and turn into a highly flammable and explosive vapor. The only thing needed now is the ignition.
Thanks, Kevin. I think that's all we need.
Okay, you're welcome.
See you. Ask the manager what size the propane cylinder was.
Got it. I need to see the manager. I'm Detective Jason Campbell. This is ESI Agent Hall. We need to ask you some questions.
What's this all about?
Who was working last Tuesday?
I'm not sure. But I can check.
And while you're checking into that, can you also find out propane sales for that day, as well as what size propane cylinders were filled?
This is going to take some time. What's this all about?
We do have time, but if you want to continue this downtown...
No, I'll be right back.
How much propane did you put in a cylinder this size? You filled last Tuesday.
I can't remember. That was days ago.
Okay, fair enough. Let me put it this way. If you had a propane cylinder this size, How would you calculate how much to put in?
Okay, I see calculations. I don't know how to use one of these things.
By the way, where did you get your certification?
What certification?
Tell me what the training you require all attendants to have.
I personally make sure we have a certified propane person to cover every shift. We recognize that continuous learning plays a key role in workplace safety and take great pride in ensuring that our staff has the training necessary to be safe on the job.
Did you know that all propane cylinders, including this one, require your employees to calculate to fill to 80% of capacity? The task requires performing a number of operations accurately in order to avoid overfilling the tank. Did you know that overfilling a cylinder, combined with an increase in temperature, can cause the safety relief valve to open, causing propane to escape? Now, reading a document used play a role in this incident. I believe your employee's lack of numeracy skills contributed to his inability to correctly fill propane cylinders. Did you know it's a felony offense to lie to a detective regarding mandatory certification for employees?
I think I need a lawyer.
Today's knowledge-based economy is permeated with complex technological advances requiring workers to possess solid and increasingly higher essential skill levels in order to function successfully. In fact, essential skills can be the link between unemployment, employment, and promotion. Organizations and employers who lack skilled workers compromise their productivity, and the overreaching result is a negative impact on Canada's ability to compete in a global economy. We can't stress enough to employers and workers the vital role that essential skills play.